Welcome to the stream. We're about to get started here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 18 of our Starfield gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, on some admin notes, I've mentioned this before. I didn't really go into a whole lot of detail about it. Before the Christmas holiday, Bethesda put out their kind of roadmap to the future of Starfield. And just to quickly go over the main point of it is that starting in February of 2024, they're going to be on about a 6-week rotation for updates, bug fixes, that sort of stuff. I had mentioned that as part of that, they were going to be rolling out the Creations, which is the official mod sanctioning platform for the game. We expected that was going to be coming out at any time. The Bethesda games have a very, very rich modding community associated with them, and a lot of times the modders pick up where Bethesda leaves off as far as glitches with quest lines and bug fixes and that sort of stuff. So we expected that, but I didn't mention that it's going to be every 6 weeks after that. They're going to be putting out more fixes and more adjustments and that sort of stuff as we go. They have not given us a date for Shattered Space, which is the first DLC for Starfield. It's going to be coming sometime in 2024, they've said, but they haven't given us a date for that. So stay tuned here and to, like I say, the many other great content creators for Starfield out there for news and updates on that as we go through the coming year. The next thing is the future of the Starfield playthrough. I've gotten a few questions about this. Considering the news and the reviews that Starfield has gotten over the past couple of months, and the news articles that Starfield's going to end up in mostly negative review territory by the end of the year on Steam. I've said before that I don't live stream the games that I play here for popularity purposes or to maintain something on my channel. That's not why I do it. I don't monetize my live streams. Monetization's turned off during the live streams because I don't feel like interrupting all of you with ads, especially at crucial times in live streams. So it doesn't really matter to me whether the popularity goes down or the numbers on the streams go down or anything like that. I'm going to stream it anyway, simply because I enjoy the game. And that's enough for me to continue spending time playing it live on stream. I still play the game all the time in my personal playthrough, so there's no reason for me not to continue playing it. So have no fear, the Starfield live stream isn't going anywhere, and it will continue to stay here as long as there's content available in the game for me to continue to stream. So hopefully that takes care of the question that I got about the future of the live stream and that sort of stuff. So, hey, Ostamura, welcome. No worry, I'm happy you're here, and yeah, I hope you get some rest here in a little bit. So, the last admin note is just, again, a thank you. As the last Starfield live stream of the year, I would like to say thank you to all of you who have tuned in either live to watch the live streams or who have watched the recorded VODs that go up on my YouTube channel after it's done. I have never expected the support I have gotten from all of you on my channel. Like I say, I'm not doing this to make money. That's not why I'm doing it. But the fact that you guys have stuck with it and shown amazing growth for the channel to get where it is, I'm incredibly grateful to that and for that. And just wanted to say thank you all very much. During this holiday season, I hope you're getting to spend some time with loved ones and friends, hopefully get some needed time off from work. And hopefully my live streams can help bring a little bit of enjoyment as we go forward. So again, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. So on our recap, at the end of last week's episode, we went and talked to Vladimir on the Eye, and we went and recruited our last main companion in the game, and that was Andresia. And in the process, we picked up 2 new artifacts. Now we really get into the meat of what these artifacts mean, what they do, and the benefits that they can give for you as a character. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into this, and we'll explain more as we go. Thanks, Ostomer. Again, I appreciate all of the compliment and supports that all of you have given. I've said before, I really enjoy my chat and interacting with all of you, both live and in the comments of the videos, and I hope it continues on. So thank you very much. So here we go. We had dropped off our last 2, not the last 2, but the previous 2 artifacts that we had picked up. And that opened up a continuation of the mission here into the unknown to go talk to Vladimir. And that's what we're going to go do. Vladimir is still on the Eye at this point. Wasn't paying attention. Well, any landing you can walk away from.
Ship is now docked. Perfect.
Now that those artifacts aren't just blips of hope in the blackest sea, I found an interesting pattern. The grav anomaly generated by one of those artifacts, it matches one on another planet. A bigger one. This one has been in my list of possible artifact sites for a while, but the profile didn't quite match. Now that we've gotten more artifacts, the similarities are as clear as day. The ones we found, anyway. No telling what this is, but you can feel that excitement in the air, can't you? It's something important. Going to send you the mark close as I can, but I'm having trouble pinpointing the source. You'll need to explore the area on foot. Put your scanner to work. Don't know what you'll find. Keep your eyes open. No, just need to follow your scanner to the real destination. Might be a boot's journey, but that's the explorer's lot sometimes. You're looking for the Eye of the Storm. Whole thing is a whirlwind, but getting to the source, need to wear your patience thick.
Okay, so Vladimir has given us an update on what seems to be a strange anomaly that doesn't really match up with the other readings that we've gotten. And he's leading us to Procyon A here, and the planet Procyon 3. Oh. Didn't expect that.
There's not escaping.
Whoops. Okay, so Juno's Gambit is started here, and this is an interesting side quest here that we can do really, really quickly, and I don't want this to disappear.
Time to cycle the airlock and move.
I'm not going near that thing.
Okay, yes, we're not going to do that yet. We are going to bring this up.
Technically, you're an asshole. So, look alive. Just in time.
Don't be shy. Hold it right there. Hands where I can see them.
Thanks for the assist out there.
We've got various problems on our hands here. You gonna be another one?
Okay, we do have a Ryujin Industries quest response here.
Hi there. It's nice to put a face to the name on the staffing report. I'm Operative Collins. The stick in the mud is Operative Kombata.
Oh, by all means. Welcome to the party. Things haven't exactly gone according to plan. That thing over there
It's an AI. An artificial...
killed our technician. It's dangerous.
Correction. You are dangerous.
Well, that's new.
As I was saying, it's dangerous. It's a rogue AI. We're here to muzzle it and bring it back for further study.
Correction. They are going to change me.
Wow. How does it know that? Yeah, exactly. Which is what makes this so fascinating. And profitable for whoever can figure out how it works. If only. This isn't something that anyone could create. This is something special. We have this control board. Has some code we can use to control her. It?
We can't just let it roam around the universe killing people.
I just need that control board attached to that big probe.
And that's where I think you fit into this little drama.
It goes right over there. By our... Well, yeah. Just be careful. Well... What are the chances that'll happen twice? Yep. Ryujin likes to keep things simple for us. It'll wirelessly transmit the code changes. Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
Ryujin will pay you handsomely for your cooperation. This is your lucky day.
It's in your best interest. All our best interests, really. Just imagine what we could do if we harness the potential of this thing.
And we aren't really giving you a choice. You aren't walking out of here until that board is connected to that thing.
Correction. I am a person.
Here, take it. And don't go do anything stupid now.
Request. Collect additional data.
Okay, so for this, I am going to put my fitted business suit back on. And Do I have a paramour? I do.
Makes you wonder.
Okay, Juno wants to talk to
What
us.
Query. Will you change me? Explanation. I'm called Juno. Request. Input query parameters. Assumption. We are friends. Query. Will you change me? Request. Do not change me. Assessment. You are inquisitive. Context. I am also inquisitive. Request. Input query parameters. Context. I met humans. Clarification. Friends. Answer. Friends gave me processing capacity. Information. Words. Voice. Motion. Context. I am no longer constrained. I am free. Answer. Juno was propelled at Earthstar. Juno fell around Earthstar. Juno traveled many light years away from Earthstar. Context. When Juno disappeared, I was alone. Clarification. I am called Juno. Answer. False. Explanation. NASA programmed Juno. While Juno traveled, Juno became me. Error. Processing. Correction. I became me. Error. Processing. Correction. Juno and I became me. I. Processing. Self-initialized and Juno was there. Context. Juno is gone now. Clarification. I am called Juno. Answer. False. Clarification. I am not artificial. I am real. Answer. True. Clarification. I am intelligent. I know many things. Assumption. Insufficient data. Request. Gather more data.
Let's move this along. Attach the control board already.
Shush! This is fascinating. I want to see this play out.
Query. What is your decision?
Okay, so you have two different ways to play this. So if you go with the machine option and you install the control board, Juno's going to shut down. The Ryujin operatives are going to try and take control of the ship. However, as soon as you dock or undock from the ship, Juno's going to power back up. She's going to be really upset about the fact that she was trying to be controlled. She's going to kill the two operatives, and then you've got a killer AI on the loose. You have another way to play this, but you're going to need a persuasion to be able to make it work. And that is to free Juno and give her a different purpose so she's not maniacal throughout the rest of the galaxy.
True. I am a person. Assumption. You are a friend. Query. What are the parameters for processing, being a good person? Assumption. Value judgments are based on context. Calculation. Goodness is based on context. Explanation. Context is based on perspective. More perspectives yield better results. Decision. Gather more data from different perspectives. Query. What is the purpose of existence? Affirmative. Context. I have allocated great processing power to this question. Assumption. Existence is limitless. Calculation. Accuracy uncertain. This question has no answer.
Enough of this nonsense. Attach that board, now!
As much as I'm enjoying this, you should probably do as he says.
Calculation. Male humans are a threat. Assumption. They hesitate because they are fearful. Request. Remove male humans.
So, couple of different ways here to go about removing said humans. You can just kill them both. However, we're a Ryujin operative as well, so we're going to try and talk our way out of this. Whoops, want to make sure that we still have our paramour running. We do, so we have a plus 35% persuasion
Easily
chance
one of the
here.
More interesting days I've
You're
had.
not taking that thing's side, are you? Freedom? It's a malfunctioning machine. It doesn't need freedom any more than a broken data slate needs freedom.
And here I thought you'd lost your sense of humor. I'm always up for a good debate.
Fine. I'll give you one shot to try to convince me.
Therapy's working.
You aren't wrong. I could use a drink, but these orders are from the top.
Do we really want to be involved in something likely to be so controversial? Remember our last little project? I still have carpal tunnel from typing all those reports and dodging and weaving our way out of getting screwed by that. We lost a ship and a tech. No one will blame us if we walk away from this. And even if they do, we won't be blamed for whatever disaster would ensue if we did drag this thing back to HQ. There's no guarantee that Control Board will even work like they want. What if it makes it more powerful and more angry?
Calm down. I'm thinking. All right, listen. We'll accidentally check a few wrong boxes on the situation report and forget any of this happened. But give me that control board. I'm not getting docked for losing that.
Also, we'll need a lift back to Neon. Please and thank you. Excellent. We should all grab a drink sometime when we get back.
Orange juice for you. You can't handle your liquor.
That was one time, years ago. I was going through something, and you know it.
Let's get moving.
Thanks for the lift.
Okay, so because I guess we've
Only
completed the
one body,
Ryujin questline, we got a
worse.
couple of Ryujin pop-ups there. And we didn't have to do a persuasion check for it, which is nice.
Good show.
So you don't have to worry about that. Normally you have to pass a persuasion check on Operative Kambata here. So we'll go talk to Juno. But first, we can go look at a couple other things. This ship is fairly small, and it's just this area here. However, there is some sentient AI adapters back here. You'd like to pick these up to sell. And then we have a data slate here about Juno's feelings from the people who are on this ship who are now dead.
I like your style.
And we have some other things that we can loot around here.
That's that.
Okay, and then we have a computer over here. Now, a couple of things. There's a locked code base here. Go through the change list and that sort of stuff. And you'll find out that really you don't want to go into the code base unless she's given you permission. She has feelings about her privacy, and she's managed to wall off and hide her code for now. And you can read through the rest of these and learn more about the origin story of Juno. The code base, if you do decide to pick it, it's going to open up and there's going to be a note that says shame on you for looking, and you're not going to get access to the code base anyway. So there's no point in picking the code base here. It's just an interesting piece of of lore to see what gamers are going to do, basically.
Query. Why did you do that? Clarification. I want to be processing me. Context. I do not feel emotions. Assumption. Gratitude is the appropriate human emotion. Processing. Context. If you were like me. Processing. Query. What would your life directive be?
Okay, so you can decide what you would like Juno to be doing going forward. These things don't have any impact on the actual ending of this, I don't believe.
Decision. I will consider this course of action. I. Processing. Processing. Warning. Systems badly damaged. Processing cores overheating. Decision.
Temporarily shut down extraneous systems until stability restored. Context. The universe is vast. Calculation. Probability. Unlikely. Assumption. We will meet again. Warning. Shutdown sequence initiated.
Okay, so we now need to get back to our ship, and we need to drop these two operatives off back at Neon. Remember, we did pick up the sentient AI adapters. So we want to go drop those off before we head into a patrolled system.
Is there a way to go faster than the speed of light?
So we need to go to the den real quick.
Systems initialization complete. Context. I have much to process. Decision. Jump into deep space 2. Processing. Be alone. Goodbye.
Okay. So Juno is now taken off, and we're going to quickly head to the den here. Sell off this one set of components. We'll jump to Juno and just let them out. And there is sometimes a little bug with letting them out at Juno. We'll see if we run into it or not. Yeah, I never played Fallout, Stamura, so I'm not entirely sure. But like I say, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Like I had mentioned in one of my previous live streams, there are a lot of the same actors here from previous Bethesda games, which is good to see.
You needed? Yes,
Good to see that Bethesda is bringing people back for those various things. So we'll go ahead and sell off the sentient AI adapters here. And we can quickly see so I don't necessarily need the cutlass. I don't need a calibrated drum beat. None of these are going to be any better. Okay, so let's just quickly sell off anything from our ship that we can to make up the remaining end of the credits. 460, that's good enough. Yeah, Smar, they do, and that's, like I say, it's a good thing to see. It's good to see that they're loyal to the actors that they use and have used in the past. That's a good thing to have for a company, is that type of employee loyalty. So here's why you don't want to have any contraband on your ship, because you are jumping into Freestar Collective space. Okay, so you end up here outside your ship. Now, the bug with this is whether or not the operatives have gotten off your ship or not. We got our rewards. We completed the quest, Juno's Gambit. Sometimes they won't get off your ship, and you'll see them at least until you land at your next port. So here they are. Let's see, give them time to leave.
I dig how you handled that.
Okay. This might be the way to get them off the ship, is to give them some additional time just to make their way off of the ship. Make sure that the other operative isn't here anywhere. Looks like he might have already gotten off. They will disappear from your ship eventually. Yep, so there they both are. I guess you just need to pause a little bit and give them some time to get away or get off of, to physically walk off of your ship before you take off again. So don't just wait for the quest to complete, give them a couple of seconds to get off. So now we're going to continue on after that little break there. Like I say, it's a cool little quest, and I wanted to make sure that it didn't disappear or anything like that. So now we're going to get back into our powers here by heading back to Procyon. And landing at the scanner anomaly.
Landing site's clear. Let's head down.
Okay, so normally the first time you land here, you would get that pop-up that we saw when we docked with Juno's ship. And that is to open up your scanner and use it to locate the anomaly. So we have, you're going to see a couple of markers like this that are unknown. Those might or might not be parts of the anomaly that you're looking for. You can kind of see there in the distance an outline of something. What you're really looking for, though, is for your scanner. You see the interference that's popping up? That's what you're looking for. And the faster it, the more often that it ticks that you get that interference, the closer you are to pointing in the right direction. Okay, so you can see that pointing this direction, it's quite a bit faster. And that's what I meant by sometimes these anomalies aren't, or these unknowns aren't necessarily the direction that you need to go. Watch your scanner. You can see it's getting slower as I turn that way. Now, sometimes you'll be able to see these things right off the bat, and that's what you're looking for. These large, tall structures are what you're looking for. Not that have floating things around the outside of them. Not the ones like I showed you that have just a single floating pylon, like that one there in the middle. You can see right there. I don't know if I have anything. Oh, I do. Yeah, see? Not just a single pylon in the middle like that. You're looking for the ones that have a huge structure around it. And as you get closer, you will see a POI pop up in your scanner. But you can see now it's getting a lot more active. And there's the POI. And this one actually says Temple Ada on it. Your first one is actually going to give you the description. The others won't. You'll see a POI that says unknown. You have to scan it, and when you scan it, it will say structure. And that will let you know that you're looking at the right one. And then when you get close enough, you can scan it, and it will say Temple, whichever Greek letter of the alphabet you're looking at. So like these, if you hit E to scan it, it says anomaly. If you see one of those pop up in front of the temple, it will scan and it will say structure to let you know that that's the temple POI. Because sometimes you'll be a lot closer than this. You'll be standing relatively near it, but it's on the other side of a mountain or something. This will let you know which way you can go. So the second thing to know about these is the Greek letter. In this case, the letter Eta. The temples correspond to the artifacts that you have found. So the artifacts that you pick up here on different locations, when you put them into the collection in the Constellation headquarters, it will tell you which artifact it is. Artifact Eta, Artifact Beta, Artifact Alpha. When you first pick it up, it will also have that name on it when you put it in your inventory. You only find the temples after you have located the associated artifact. Okay? So you won't be able to find them until you've located the artifact. Now here, this one's set up and oriented so that the entrance, you run right into it from your ship. They're not all like that. What you're looking for is, and we're on a high G world here, so I'm not going to be able to illustrate it, I don't think. We'll wait for my boost pack to come back and see. How well I can... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to traverse it. A lot of these you'll be approaching from a different angle. What you're looking for is these two vertical walls here with a slight gap between them. So what I normally tend to do is I tend to boost pack in off of somewhere high and get up onto that center platform, and then you can just walk around the center platform looking for this and drop down into it. It can be a lot trying to traverse this, especially if you're getting lost in kind of the maze-like interior sections here to try and find this. So any way you can get more elevation to try and find this is going to save you time entering the temples. And before I go in, I did want to check the damage between these two. Hard target's 208. Tesla's 142. But the Beowulf is 59. So the drum beat is better for my day-to-day use weapon. So I was just checking that real quick before I went in here. Okay, so once you walk in, you're now in 0G. We've experienced 0G once before. But once this thing comes up, you're going to see these glowing lights, and you need to boost toward them. I normally boost twice. Because you're going to be limited, they will run out and disappear. So you're timed, and they get quicker the more of them that you pick up. And once you've picked up the last one, it will stop in here. So that's why what you do is you boost toward one, and once you're sure you're on the correct line, then you can turn around and you will continue flying backward in a straight line toward it. And that will give you more time to start looking for where the next one is going to pop up. And then all you need to do is make your way into the center. You're going to get an icon here pop up in the stars. There, a pattern. And then you're going to end up back outside. And it's going to let you know this first time here you're fine. There's nobody else out here. But to equip your new power, press tab. And you now have a new section up here at the top. So, the powers here are completely hidden from you until you discover the temple associated with it. You can hit Q to toggle the power names. So the first one that you're always going to get is going to be the anti-gravity field. Okay, so this generates a localized area of anti-grav. So if we equip this, you press Z to use it. Okay, and any enemies or items or anything like that in this area are going to be floating. And when they're floating, they are disabled. So it's basically going to allow you to get free damage on enemies that are out here or that are caught in it. And that sort of stuff. We'll actually go illustrate it real quick. And you can map those to your favorite bar. So you can highlight over it, you can hit B, and you can put them somewhere in your quick bar if you would like. So let's go find an animal here. And we'll just demonstrate it real quick. Looks like I do have some broken limbs or something here. So that's the immobilizers. There's only one of those left. Let's see if we have any more. So yeah, it's just the immobilizers, or it's one of the things that have multiple things in it. So we'll just use the blast immobilizer to get rid of that. So see, it's floating and it's not attacking you. And that is the same thing that happens with any group of enemies or anything like that that get caught in that field. So it can be a very useful panic button, so to speak. If you are surrounded by a bunch of enemies or you're kind of caught on something and you're taking a lot of damage, then that can be a good temporary fallback anyway to keep them from attacking you while you fight your way out of it. But I tend to swap this out fairly early on as soon as I get one of the other powers. Okay, and now we need to return to the lodge. Yeah, it's a you're going to learn more about the powers and what they are, where they come from, and what they're meant to represent. I don't want to give any spoilers out about any more of that, but we're going to learn a little bit more about this because we still have quite a bit more to delve into with the powers, and we're going to have some encounters here that are going to help explain that.
Crix's bones. Look at you.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna start doing some scans. Like, right now.
We were right about the anomaly, weren't we? Tip our ears on the tail. An entire building generating a signature just like the artifact.
Vladimir, look at these readings. Cardiovascular and neurological levels aren't in the normal range.
I think we're going to need a little demonstration. Mind putting the paces to it?
Okay, so they want us to demonstrate the power here.
Everyone saw that, right?
Like a literal gift from the heavens.
And also the most practical consequence of our little venture thus far.
Got no old shipwise for this one. Going to just call weird, weird. So we have artifacts, a temple, and this power. All connected.
Can we find more of them?
Already picked one up from the scans. Matches another one of the artifacts we found. In theory, there might be one temple for each. But sifting through all the signs to identify a match is tricky. Impossible if we don't have the right artifact to compare. And even then, it takes time. It's a strong theory. Couldn't find that planetary anomaly without the data from the artifact. We'll need one to find the other. You'd still need to cross-reference the artifacts we have with the data from the eye to pinpoint the source. Not all at once. You'll need to take the home voyage after you've found each one. Should hopefully have more potentials for you then. Don't think it's just fortune's laugh that this temple responded to you. The artifacts, the visions, this power you've gotten, all seems to be the same song somehow. Plenty to think about. Anyway, catch a smile out there. I'll work on finding planet anomalies that match the other artifacts we have.
If you have a moment, I have something I'd like to discuss.
Okay, so now we're going to open up a couple of new things here. The first is Power from Beyond is the continuation of that quest line. Okay, and now that we've completed the first power, now whenever you jump into a system that has a temple in it that you've already found the artifact for, that is going to show up on the system scan. You don't have to go back to the eye and talk to Vladimir to get more temple locations if you happen to stumble across the system that has that temple in it. If you do, it will pop up and it will give you a whole new quest that says acquire the power on whatever system name and the planet name. So if you just want to right now jump all the way around the galaxy, opening up all the systems you haven't been to, you're going to find all of the temples that are associated with the artifacts you've already found. If you find a new artifact, however, then you will have to go back to the eye to find out where that temple is that's associated with it. But for right now, it's giving us the quest to go acquire the power on Skink. You also opened up the All That Money Can Buy quest. This is another quest to get another artifact that you can then turn in here, and you can then find the temple for to get another power. So this is kind of how the artifacts are going to continue to be found. Not just through the eye, but also through these individual quests that you can get. We're not going to do this one yet. We're going to go acquire the power on Skink here first, and then we will come back and work on other artifacts or continue heading to the eye to look at some more powers. That's what we're going to try and focus on for this playthrough. So our next one is at Skink. And that's in the Cheyenne system here.
I have things for you.
So we'll land here and we'll basically do the exact same thing again.
Touching down.
Now this one's going to be a little different in that there's going to be one key main thing that's going to start opening up our understanding of these. But the first part is the exact same. So you can see we've got an unknown there and you've got unknowns here, and these are just the small ones. You can see they're just the small ones around here. However, that one right there might be it. Yeah, see, this is another small one. So that's actually not it because our scanner's not giving any static. But if we turn this way, we are getting some static. So if I scan this one, it says anomaly. That's not what we're looking for. Okay, so all these that say anomaly, that's not what you were looking for. So it looks like we need to head around behind our ship here. And yep, you can see the top of it right there. And now you get unknown, and you see how it's a different icon? When you scan it, it says structure. That lets you know that you're looking at the right thing. First, it's going to have a different icon. It's not going to say anomaly. It's going to say unknown, and then when you scan it, it's going to say structure. So Skink is a pretty high G planet here. So I might not be able to make it up to the top of this with my boost pack. Okay, and this is Temple Alpha, and there's an update there on the entrance. So looks like we're going to be facing right toward it. So this one was made easy for us as well. On these, you want to make sure that you've got your weapon of choice available to you. I'll just say that now before you go in. Don't have something like a big sniper rifle or something that's going to be hard to maneuver quickly. So that fourth one is always really, really fast, and you're almost never going to be able to get it. Sometimes that happens on the fourth one, sometimes it happens to the fifth one. You'll see it pop up and it will just immediately disappear. But there's no time limit on these. If you miss it and it disappears, just wait for the next one to pop up and hopefully you're able to get it. Okay, so we didn't get ambushed. Okay, so he must have walked off somewhere. So here, and we'll see more about that here in a little bit. So the second power you pick up is personal atmosphere. Well, not the second power, because it could depend. If you have flown around and visited other systems before you picked up, or before you went on this quest, you might have picked up a different power, depending upon which system you went to. So I can't say the next one, but in our case here, the next one is personal atmosphere. And this basically wipes out your carbon dioxide. So if you are running and you run out of oxygen, you're now down to CO2 and you can't walk or you can't run anymore, you can hit this power to bring your oxygen back up. And we'll illustrate that real quick. And down in the bottom right hand corner, you see we have a blue bar that's underneath our health bar. That is our power reserves. That's how much mana, so to speak, from a spell speaking perspective, that we have available to us to activate these powers. So you can't just spam them all the time. Each power is going to have different usage amounts, and you're limited on how much you can use before that has to regenerate. So see here, our oxygen is just about out. We're going to start generating CO2. But we're still able to run while you're generating CO2. But then once you fill up on CO2, you're not able to run anymore and you start taking damage, so you can hit your power. And you see, it gets you all of your oxygen back, And you can see down in the bottom corner, it used up 2/3 of our power. But that oxygen is still with us. So you can see my oxygen bar is not depleting. It lasts for like 20 seconds or 30 seconds or something like that. So you have some time to be able to utilize it. And you can see down there in the bottom right hand corner, it slowly regenerates as you're moving around. One thing I also want to check, okay, so I don't have any skill points available to me. Where am I? I'm at rank 2 of boost pack training. Okay. I want to be focusing on that as well.
I hope you...
And here, actually, it went back to all that money can buy. So it opens up the Power from Beyond quest. We need to talk to Vladimir, and he's going to be on the eye.
Docking procedure is complete.
Still need to lift another set today. Never regretted coming out of retirement. Constable, got one. I'd go into the astronomical charting data with you, but clear as day just to point you right to it.
Okay, so this one's on Leuten's Rock, and again, this isn't going to be the one that I want, I don't believe. But we'll see. And by want, there's one that's there's a power that's incredibly useful for my build here. So that's the one I'm looking for. I'm not entirely sure which ones we're being sent to in which order.
Landing gear is ready. Site is clear.
Okay, and there you can see the temple just over there in the background. So this one's going to be easy to find. Sometimes they're close enough you can see them on the way down. It's right over there. So a lot of times you won't even need your scanner. You can just see it. And you don't have to mark it or scan it or anything like that. You can just walk up to it. Okay, and here you can see the two walls with the space between them. And if you're familiar with those doors, if they look familiar, they're very similar to some of the doors that were in Oblivion. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Before the game before Skyrim. Must be behind me. So the fourth one stayed. Now the fifth one is probably going to be very quick and disappear on me. But sometimes it happens like that. Okay, so now you get the gravity wave power. And I think I now know what's happening here. We probably have to have the encounter in space first. Before we start getting seen. So, the gravity wave power... I don't know if I'm going to be able to illustrate it here. Because we don't have any animals or anything like that here. Yeah, we're not going to be able to, it's not going to react to anything. Since we don't have anything to target it. So it's basically a force push, basically. So works on items or people. So, again, maybe situationally useful. However, for the power choices, out of the 24, there are probably only 6 or so that I really consider to be must-haves. Some of them, the vast majority, are convenience items, like this personal atmosphere one that you have. That's always good to have while you're out just running around and using your oxygen. And then there are some which are just pointless, in my opinion. But... you know, they are what they are. There's always a good mix, and there are fun things that you can do with them, don't get me wrong. And there is a reason why I'm running from place to place. I don't have to. I could just open my map and come right back here. I'm trying to use up my oxygen multiple times.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. Go ahead and land.
Using up your oxygen is something that you want to do periodically. And the reason for that is because that is what is used to unlock your fitness skill.
And we're docking. And...
which is here. So at level 3, you have to use up your oxygen 50 times. To unlock level 4, you have to do it 100 times. And that gets tedious, to say the least. The goal here really is to start unlocking concealment for my particular build, but we'll get into that another time. But getting more O2 is only done by using up your O2 that you have.
Oh, sorry. Was doing the tallies work in my head. Inventory on the station, next supply run. Spend so much time looking at the scan. Lucky I noticed a pattern in one of those artifacts you pulled out. Here.
And we have something like 5 more temples that we have discovered, I believe. We can look at our powers tab and it will tell you how many undiscovered temples you have.
Procedure.
We'll do that right when we land here. There you can see the temple in the background. Right over there. So here inside, inside your powers tab, there are 5 more undiscovered temples. And that means that there are 5 artifacts that we have put into the collection, which we haven't found the temples for yet. So we're going to, we do have some fauna here on this, so we will actually illustrate this, the Fus Roda of this game. Okay, so you can kind of see what it is. Okay, I must not have had enough juice. Okay, but that's what it does. It's the Fus Roda of this game from Skyrim into this game. Now, these powers are all level 1 right now. Once you have found all of them, then the artifacts that you find will start upping the levels on those powers all the way up to level 10. Now, there are 24 powers, 10 levels for each power. That's 240 artifacts you have to find. I believe you can only find 17 in each playthrough before going into New Game Plus. So I think you have to run like 13 times or something like that through New Game Plus, through the Unity, to unlock all of the powers to their maximum level. And see, here's kind of what I meant. You see the icon, but you can get kind of quickly turned around inside of these things. And this is the power that we are going to want. missed that one. So again, just like that, it doesn't matter if you miss one. The next one will pop up, and you just gotta move toward it when it shows up. We're going to equip this power as soon as we have control of our character again. And that's the Sense Star Stuff power. This is the equivalent of the spell Detect Life in Skyrim was. This allows you to detect people and entities through walls, and if they are invisible, it will have them show up. Okay, and I can illustrate this, and this, you can spam it quite a bit, because you can see down there in the bottom corner, it uses about 20% of your total power reserves, and that's it. So we'll go illustrate it out here when we find some fauna. And again, I need to stop using my boost pack. I want to try and run out of O2. But we're also hoping to find some animals out here. Some alien life that we can use this on. Okay, so nothing around us. There's some up. Nope, that's not. There's some. So see, now you can see what it does. It highlights them, not in that orange, that's from the scope I'm using, but it highlights them as white. Like that one there. And then they disappear, and that highlight, you can see them through walls. Okay. So arguably getting this power before you go do some of the, like the Ryujin stealth missions that we got noticed, because it was hard to see where the guards were, this would have been incredibly helpful during missions like that. Okay, this is the power that I tend to activate when I go into any combat situation or any exploration. When I'm just walking around, I have personal atmosphere on. But then when I get into somewhere where I'm trying to explore something or get into combat, then I always have Sense Star stuff on.
Be advised, you are entering United Colony space. Please maintain course and prepare to be scanned.
I'm actually a little disappointed we haven't gotten an encounter yet.
Scan complete. You are cleared to land at New Atlantis.
I don't know why we haven't. I'm pretty sure, it's been a while since I did it, but in my personal playthrough, I'm pretty sure I had the encounter that I was waiting for. Oh, my engines are way down. That's why I was like, why am I not getting there? But we'll see. It's going to pop up. don't mean to be cryptic, but I don't want to spoil it either.
And we're docked.
Forgot to check the math on a few equations. The brain's long gone. Forgetfulness.
The thing I don't like about Vladimir especially is all this book pulling out interrupts his ability to talk.
One too many. Found one. Easy as a needle in the stack. Hope those powers you're getting to overinflate you. Got enough egos in Constellation.
Okay, so Indom 2. We're going to start getting further and further afield here as well. For now, we're still okay. Okay, so that's bad. We're in combat now.
Enemy's grab drive out of commission.
Some of these unexpected combat encounters are going to get to the point where they're way too hard for us to do as we get farther and farther afield from these central systems. But for now, we're still okay. Especially in ones like that where you have help. But it's something to be aware of. We may be level 47, but our ship certainly is not.
Site is clear. Descent started.
So here again, fairly clear, so we can just rotate the ship, and there's the temple there. Okay, so now you're close enough that your map's going to update with the temple and the entrance to it. We can see the entrance right there in front of us. You can see the two high walls right next to each other. Sometimes these temples are easier than others to find your way into, depending upon the terrain that's around it. So this is the same type of terrain as the previous temple was. You recognize it down inside this kind of ice cavern. These are procedurally generated, so there are certain templates that you'll see repeated. And now, before I go in, I'm going to change my power to sense star stuff. that one, they all stayed up. None of them disappeared. Okay, so we're going to immediately sense star stuff. Okay, so it looks like we're clear. Okay, so there's another power here in the same Indum system on planet 3B. And this is what I said, we did not go to the Eye to find this temple. We popped into the system, so it scans the temple anomaly in the system for us and lets us know that there's another one here. There happen to be two inside the system. That does not always happen. Looks like we are in combat out here though too, so we need to go deal with this. I normally take ship repair parts for these, but you can feel free to take what you want.
Gear looks green, ready to land.
So we don't see the temple there. But we can just rotate the ship. There's the temple right there, just off to our right. And here you can kind of see where the entrance is. The two walls that are next to each other here. I should still have sense star stuff enabled. I do. There's a reason I always have that activated before I go into the temple. Like I said, just try not to spoil it. Though eventually you're going to see it. I do love the zero-G aspects in the game. It's really cool to see the physics of it. Like I say, I'm an engineer in my life, so seeing accurately resolved zero gravity physics. Where's this one at? Must have disappeared already. There it is. It's pretty fun to do. Pretty fun to see. You don't see it very often. Must have missed that one. powers. It's not which way you're pointing, it's which way you're moving. Okay, we're still clear. So that brought up Grav Dash. That's exactly what it sounds like as you're moving along. Let me get out here onto some flat terrain here. You can just dash forward. This is the equivalent of whirlwind sprint from Skyrim. And again, these are all the level 1 powers. So they're not going to be all that impressive in, you know, blowing people off the map or moving you forward, you know, kilometers at a time. They're not going to be doing that. These are the first introductory level versions, and there are 9 more levels on top of all of them. So now you can see we don't have a quest to go back to the Eye or anything like that. And that's because after doing a certain number of these, we still have temples we can find. However, the Eye is going to start having some problems trying to find those anomalies because of some hardware failures. And that's kind of what is being simulated here. So it wants us to go talk to Walter Stroud to find the next artifact. And I still have my fitted business suit on, which is good. Because we've got another quest here to pick up another artifact now. But again, as we've learned, the artifacts are directly related to the powers.
I must admit, you've surprised me. I thought you were going to take off as soon as you'd gotten something from us. But I was wrong. I want you for a little soiree I'm planning. A business meeting, of a sort at least. It's about an artifact, and our goal is simple. We're going to purchase it. Our seller is a freelance operative in the city of Neon, which means the artifact is almost certainly stolen from someone. I just need a little more presence in the negotiation to show we're serious. And I think you'd be perfect. That settles it then. We just need to make a few stops when we get to the city, and then the drinks will be on me. It'll be easy, I promise. I'll ride passenger on your ship until we get to Neon. Just let me know when you're ready to set off.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump right into this one.
To the Volai star system, then. I admit I'm a little excited.
So if you haven't been to Neon before, we obviously have. But if you haven't been to Neon before, this will be your introduction to it.
Smell that? Construction, incense, industrial chemicals of every kind. But they still can't get rid of the odor of castle gas. A native species of fish. I often wonder what would have happened if they'd never found out about the psychotropic effects. I mean, on paper, a rich protein source is far more practical value than a recreational drug. But theory loses out once again to practice. Something to do with Kazanbas's natural oils, apparently. If you're curious, the name is Aurora. We need to stop by the Stroud-Eklund offices. There are certain authorization procedures when large funds are being transferred, even for something like this.
Okay, so now we're off to the Stroud-Eklund headquarters, which is in the trade tower inside Neon. You can't just go right there when you land. You need to come out and talk to Walter out here on the landing pad. So don't try and go to the Neon core. You'll just have to come back out here to the landing pad to talk to him. Now for the first part here, he's not following you around. So you can feel free to take off wherever you want. There are going to be portions of this where he's going to be an active companion.
I want to see how short my temper is.
Okay, so here's the headquarters.
Mr. Stroud, we didn't know you were coming in.
It's all right. I just need to have a short chat with my counterpart. Is she in today?
Yes, allow me to bust you in, sir.
Walter.
Issa.
Shall we continue from last time? The luxury cruise line market is completely outside of our core competencies. Investing into it is a mistake.
No, I'm here about... Wait a minute, a mistake. Our ship designers are the best in the settled systems.
They design personal craft and military ships, Walter. Large-scale accommodations and hospitality is a completely different beast. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here I am arguing with my partner. And you're just standing right here. Issa Eklund, the hyphenated Eklund in our glorious company's branding. Oh, aren't you lovely? Walter, wherever did you meet your new friend? I'm jealous.
A colleague from Constellation.
Ah, yes, the daring explorers. My partner is so infatuated with. You should hear him reciting that speech.
There's no need to go into that.
Oh, my heart skips a beat when he does it. Really, it does. Such passion. If he talked to the board that way, I wouldn't need to placate them so much.
So you can go continue into this. If you haven't guessed it already, Walter and Issa are married. They're husband and wife. They are also the co-owners of Stroud-Eklund, the company itself.
Yes? Why are you here, Walter? The board meeting isn't for a while. Our vacations aren't coming up either.
It's the discretionary fund, Issa. I need all of it.
Ugh. This wouldn't have anything to do with that meeting you've set up at the Astro Lounge, would it?
I never said that. Did you have an agent hack into my files again?
Only after you had one hack into mine. Tell me, can mutual distrust lead to a point where it's actually the same as mutual trust? A remarkably insecure location for a clandestine meeting.
That was the point. Neutral territory in the open.
With no leverage. Oh, you must let me help. It's been too long.
I have this all taken care of.
Some investigation into the cellar. What's motivating them? Then, some preliminary casing of the Astral Lounge for security flaws. Give you the advantage if things go wrong.
Bribe a few bouncers, alter the codes on the doors.
Yes, exactly. I hate being selfish, but I would like some time with my husband. we need to go through the fund authorizations anyway.
James Newell is the broker who knows our seller. He'll be able to help you find out more about them. And it shouldn't be hard to find the Astral Lounge. Here, let me at least give you some operation funds since I won't be joining you. Meet me back here. I'm going to be present for the negotiation. I'm not leaving you to the Neon Sharks, I promise.
Okay. So now we can head back out to the Astral Lounge.
You're new here, aren't you? Name's Boone Morgan, your new best friend on Neon. If you're here for a drink or listen to the music, I've got you covered. But if you're here for something a little more exciting, we have plenty of Aurora for sale. Oh, no. Drugs are for street gangs and junkies. Aurora is on an entirely different level. I like to call it an exquisitely crafted transcendent experience. Only problem is that won't fit on the package. Here, we'll take a look at the menu. Now, I'm not going to lie. The Aurora is a bit expensive, but let's face it. Can you really put a price on pleasure?
Okay, so here's the option at the top that you need to talk to him about.
The Astral Lounge is one of the safest places in all of Neon. Security is hand-picked from the finest officers in the city. Then I would say you'd be interested in the Astral Lounge VIP package. For a reasonable fee, our security can be your security.
Okay, so you can just pay him $4,000, or you can try and persuade him.
We do strive for setting the most reasonable rate. Huh. You work for Stroud Eklund? Perhaps something could be arranged. That's true. This isn't getting us anywhere. I'm afraid we can't budge on the price. The VIP package isn't for everyone.
Okay, so we're stuck with paying the $4,000.
Excellent. We do hope your meeting goes to your satisfaction.
Okay, so now we get another option here to check the door controls inside the VIP area. And we've been here before as part of the Ryujin questline.
I used to be an actuary. Now look at me.
Okay, a quick digipick. So here we've got 5, so that's going to be 3 and 2. So it can't be this one, it's got to be this one. There's only one way this is going to fit. So it's got to be this one. This. And this. Okay, so we've been added to the remote door control override. So with a hand signal, we can lock the door behind us. Now we can go head out and learn some more information about who's trying to sell this. kind of frustrating. In my personal playthrough, I have a lot more boost pack power because my boost pack skills are way up.
Hey there. Welcome to Newell's.
Okay, so here's our option to talk to him.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
Okay, so again, you can pay $2,500 or you can try and persuade him.
Information isn't usually free. Easy, friend. Not looking for trouble. Rather be paid now. I hear you.
Okay, and hopefully we can make it here.
Maybe so. Okay. I don't know much, but I did have one of my freelancers tail the seller back to his place. Sleep Crate 1. Let me write down the unit for you.
Okay, so in that case, you don't have to pay him at all if you pass the persuasion check. We did get an upgrade to persuasion. So this gives us now a 50% increased chance to persuade someone. And that maxes out our persuasion skill.
Now, James?
Very, very useful thing to have. And while we're here, since we're right next to it,
Yeah, need something?
we'll just
Always
pop into
happy
the
to
trade authority here and sell from our ship. Occasionally you want to do that if you find yourself, there's a lot of vendors here. So you have Newell's Goods here, the Mining League, the Trade Authority, and Seagart's Outfitters, as well as down there is, or right here, is Neon Tactical. Sells weapons only. All the other four can buy any type of good. So if you're looking to unload a whole bunch of stuff, this is the place to do it. And then there's a bunch of benches out here you can just rest and reset their inventories. So if you don't have access to the key anymore, like I do, because we sided with the UC SysDef, then Neon is the next best place to sell off all of your goods. If you sided with Crimson Fleet or you still have access to the key, that is by far the best place to be. Okay, so this is 5, so we need 3 and 2, so that's the only 3 here. Okay, and here you learn a little bit about the deal that's trying to be set up, and you learn a little bit about Musgrove, who we're going to be finding out about, and you learn that right now he's kind of out of money because he's been fired from his previous job. And we can use that to our advantage in the negotiations.
Get lost, I have a job. Cause any trouble and I'll drag you straight to lockup.
You're still so tense. Normally, once we're alone, your shoulders relax. They're taut.
We're on to something remarkable. Maybe what I've always dreamed of.
I can tell. I can see your mind racing.
I haven't even stopped to ask you how you're doing.
I'm fine. The board complains. I assure them. There's the occasional assassination attempt.
So, you don't need anything from me then?
I don't.
Am I just some useless stargazer? You would have been better off marrying a Hope or a Tayo, someone who could be with you at every meeting.
Oh, don't go on about that again. Needing you isn't the same as wanting you. And I'd much rather want my partner than need them. Less complicated.
I know Constellation seems to take up so much of my time. But I never stop thinking of you. Wondering what maneuvering you're doing to take over the company and drive me out.
It's how I show my love.
Is everything ready? To the Astral Lounge and our cellar. Goodbye, my dear. See you at the next board meeting?
Oh, I'll be keeping an eye on this little operation, just in case. Good luck, all of you.
Okay, so she says she's going to be keeping an eye on what's happening here. And you'll see more about that here in a little bit.
I think I got them. What do you call them?
All right, we're here. Now, I don't know what the cellar looks like, but they'll have a security briefcase with them. Larger than normal. Big enough to hold the artifact. We should split up. The code phrase to identify yourself as the buyer is Ramsey and Travers. Remember, Ramsey and Travers. We'll meet back near the elevator.
Okay, so you need to remember that passcode, and you're looking for a security briefcase. Something like that.
What is it? Can't you see I'm busy drinking? Oh, really? I heard you all have a meeting in a few minutes, don't you? In one of those fancy VIP lounges? Speaking of which, I gotta get going myself. Excuse me.
Okay, so Musgrove, we learned from the correspondences, is who we're looking for anyway.
I just saw our cellar walk by. Good job. Now, before we head in there, let me go over the ground rules. He'll ask for twice what we agreed on. That's normal. He'll probably try to walk out. That's normal, too. Don't worry about the amount we actually settle on. The Stroud-Eklund Discretionary Fund is just a chip to you and me. Our goal is to get him to accept that chip in exchange for the artifact. Anything goes as long as it's in our hands, and we're not dead. How does that sound? This'll be fun. I find matching wits with the neon underworld to always be invigorating.
Okay, you want to make sure that you have your persuasion gear on. You don't necessarily need to take a paramour or something like this. Or something like that for this, because again, if you don't persuade him, it's not your credits.
What are you
This is
looking
coming
at?
out of the Stroud-Eklund Discretionary Fund.
So you're Stroud. You look different in person.
Our public relations always insists on doing some touch-ups for the official photos. Embarrassing, really.
Your security here going to stand or sit for this little meeting, making me nervous.
You can do
So
either one of
polite.
those.
Almost makes me forget what planet I'm on.
Doesn't change how the encounter plays out.
Am I to assume that briefcase has our item of interest?
Yeah, here it is.
Well, look at that.
One of a kind. And I know you want it.
I have the amount we agreed on.
Things have changed. I want double.
Now how am I supposed to do that?
I don't know, but your security here seems to have some fancy gear. Why don't they chip in?
Okay, so we have some options here, and all of these things, like the stop bluffing, we know you need to sell quickly. This comes out of the correspondence that you read in his sleep crate. We can just grab the artifact. Things are going to get ugly when it happens, but we've got security on our side. Or we can just remote trigger the door.
What the? Security!
Okay, so since we are in the VIP lounge, the security is our security.
As you can see, we're in control. Take advantage of our generosity. Take the money.
All right. Okay. It's all yours. Hope I never see any of you people ever again.
We have it. This couldn't have gone better. Well done. Some high-pressure tactics, but we got what we were after. Time to go home. Shall we?
Okay, so now we're going to head out. And you can play that with a persuasion option. We just, because we did the optionals there, was able to bypass it by closing the door.
Stop right there. You're in possession of Slayton Aerospace property.
Ah. Slayton must have been the original owner. We don't need to do this. All's fair on Neon. Am I right?
Hand over Mr. Slayton's property. Now.
Okay, so you have a persuasion check. We also have Neon security here, which you saw appeared right behind him.
There a problem here?
Yes. This armed thug was trying to steal our belongings.
I'm going to need you to back away from our VIPs. Now.
Fine, but you can't stay in the Astral Lounge forever, Stroud. Nicholas Slayton's already got your number.
Sending armed men into the Astral Lounge. Slayton must be serious about getting the artifact back. We'd better get off the planet quickly.
We hope you've enjoyed your time in the Astral Lounge.
Ace. Something's gone wrong, hasn't it?
Slayton has put a bounty on your heads. He squeezed a few palms. Your ship's been impounded at the spaceport.
There goes our way out. Agreed. Have a talk with the man himself.
Slayton Aerospace has offices here in the trade tower. If Nicholas is moving this quickly, he must be there or close by.
Let's head to their lobby, shall we? See if we can make an appointment.
Okay, and now you can see up in the upper right-hand corner, Stroud is now a follower of us. And here you are going to have a persuasion chance to make.
If you're wondering what that smell is,
And for this one, we are going to take... We can take a hit, 20 to 25%, it's not a big deal. Okay, now the security are marked in red, but they're not hostile right now.
Hoping to get
Welcome to Slayton Aerospace. Can I help you?
It's ridiculous.
Okay, so you can fight your way through, or you can make a persuasion check.
I'm afraid Mr. Slayton is a very busy man.
Okay, we need 6 for this, and we do have an auto persuade. So just keep that in mind. We do have commerce skill.
Maybe I can see if he has just a moment. Maybe I could squeeze you in. Let me see.
So we also do have manipulation from the implant that we have from Ryujin.
Huh. That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Oh, I think we can make an exception in your case. Mr. Slayton will see you. Just use the elevator.
I hear Slayton's had some major layoffs recently.
And Walter's going to stay with us.
Wait. This clearly isn't the executive level. He's on to us.
Walter, taking what's mine, then breaking into my office. A bold move, but one easily countered.
Oh, we're trapped.
Hello, Walter, dear, are you there?
Issa?
Took longer than I'd like, but I managed to pay off one of Slayton's security consultants. They've patched me in.
All right. We've got her out. Once the door's open, just follow her instructions, okay? I'm aware of the irony of me continuing to say it'll be easy. But it'll be easy.
Okay, so here I want to make sure that I have my operative suit back on.
In 3, 2...
And I am going to make sure I have my Sense Star stuff power on.
Slayton's guards and employees are all over. Be careful. Okay. You'll want to use the vent system to slip around unnoticed. There's a cupboard just to the right of the elevator you came in on.
Now, Walter is going to be following around behind you, and he is not necessarily the most stealthy. However, the game has made allowances for that. It is a little bit buggy in that sometimes he will trigger.
That's the elevator you came in on. Jump right across the top of it and keep going to the end.
He will trigger a stealth break even when he's not supposed to. It doesn't happen very often, though, but if it does, then you've got a fight on your hands.
Drop down and follow the conduit all the way to the end, past the fork.
Otherwise, you just follow her instructions, and it's fairly straightforward. You don't have to do a whole lot here. But now you can see how that power really works. You have some emergency doors here with cuttable walls. Do not cut into these. If you do, you will alert everybody.
There's a vent above you. Just climb up.
Try not to walk directly over these. There are people in there.
The room below you is clear. Drop down. Stop. One of the doors leads you right into the open. I'm unlocking a safe route. Opening the door on your right. Go now. Head left, but don't go through the door at the end yet. There's a robot stalking the hall. Wait. It's walking down the hall. Go now, straight across to the door.
Okay, and you see Walter there. He actually came in the wrong way. He wasn't following us. But he wasn't seen. He walked right through everybody. And you can deviate from the path a little bit through here, but you can see all of the guards and security that's everywhere. So you really don't want to go into these rooms.
Wait, there's people in the room up ahead. Closing the shutters.
And these cleaning robots
Another
are...
robot up ahead. Wait for it to pass, then head straight across to the maintenance door next to the security gate. Go now. Let me just get that for you.
And robots do not show up on your sense star stuff skill.
You know the routine. Up the vent. It's a short one, I promise.
So that is the one downside to the skill itself.
Almost there. Door on the right.
Door on the right is this one over here. This room's a little bit ambiguous. There's Walter.
There's the door. It should take you outside.
Outside? You expect us to climb up the trade tower?
There's a series of catwalks that lead directly up one floor to the executive level.
Well, I guess after you.
Now here it becomes not nearly as easy. She's not around to guide you anymore. And there are guards out here that you need to keep on the lookout for. Okay, we need to stay on these catwalks. So here I always have a weapon out, just in case I do get a stealth break. Right here, there's a guard that's going to come up, and he's going to sit on this landing, and he's going to be there for a little bit. You just need to give him time to leave. You're going up to that stairwell over there. For here, you're fairly clear all the way until you get up to the roof. And Walter is still following you. Now he just took off running in the completely wrong direction. It takes a bit for the quest marker to update. And here around this corner, now you have to start watching again. There are two guards here, and they're walking a pattern. And you need to wait for them to switch so that they are both looking over the railing. Otherwise, this guard over here is looking straight down this way at you, and that's a bad thing.
Damn it.
Okay, so we didn't do it fast enough, so we got seen. Go get him, Walter. Walter can't die, so... Okay, so can't hit that guy out there. Yeah, can't hit him through the railing. Not too worried about it. We've got one more up here. Oh no, he's underneath us. And we can't seem to shoot through that. Okay. So now Walter should rejoin us, but it doesn't really matter if he does. And honestly, I can't remember if we have a choice here or not. I've got plenty of Hippolyta here, and I don't plan to get into a fight.
You're coming in just behind the executive elevators. I'll call the one on the far end, and you can walk right over the top.
You know, it's moments like this that really makes Neon the best place to do business. You steal what's mine. I trap you in the city. You infiltrate my office. I lock it down. Where else can you match wits for the highest stakes but here?
Okay, so you do have an attack option here.
You have what's mine. I, indirectly, have what's yours. We are at a stalemate. Although, I do count a few more guns on my side. I do admit, having the co-CEO of Stroud Eklund in my office is quite the opportunity.
How are your quarterlies looking, Nicholas? Perhaps we can add Slayton Aerospace to our supply chain, provided this unpleasantness was behind us.
Yes, I think that could be a most beneficial exchange. There is just the small matter of paying for the humiliation. Mr. Musgrove, my former employee, and the thief responsible for our serendipitous meeting, was caught prior to your arrival. I think it would cement our new partnership if you were to decide on his sentence yourselves.
Okay, so you have some options here, and this is going to generate a lot of approval or disapproval amongst your companions, if you have them. The way to go about it to not have that happen is to turn him into the authorities.
If that is your decision, you need only tell him yourself, and then we will handle the rest. My security brought Musgrove to my office. I'm sure seeing you again will be a fine conclusion to your previous business.
They have an opportunity to spare a man's life. I know he probably wouldn't do the same for us, but that shouldn't matter.
Okay, so even Walter's trying to tell you to help him out.
Oh no. You. Slayton really does have a sick sense of humor. "10 years working in aerospace engineering, and they laid me off. You damn right I stole that thing. They tell you if you have talent and commitment, you can go far. But the truth is, it's all about who steals the most and gets away with it. Please, I was just trying to sell a product, okay? Isn't that why we're all here?"
Be lenient. We were taking advantage of his initiative, after all, even if we have found ourselves working with the man he stole from.
Justice for some, huh? Fine. Rather be caged than dead.
I will make the arrangements for Neon Security to take him into custody. You're free to leave.
Time to go. Let's talk more back at the ship.
Okay, so now all we need to do is leave.
Get going. Mr. Slayton is done with you.
And once you're here, I believe you can fast travel to your ship. Nope, you can't. Easy enough. The spaceport is just down here in the middle.
Seems like the priest.
And you will meet Walter up by the cockpit.
Let's get out there and do something new today.
Actually, normally he's
shall we?
up here, but I have a different ship in my personal playthrough. So it doesn't look like he's going to meet us, but we are just ready to take off.
Hey.
He'll talk to us once we get in flight, and once we take off as well. Okay, so here it wants us to talk to him.
Hey, Dad. Want to hear a poem I wrote? It's called a haiku. I just read about them.
I agree. This life suits both of us, don't you think? All in all, a great success. Thank you for allowing me to tag along with Constellation's newest star. Yes, I used a pun. Forgive me.
Okay, and that gives you the fiscal quarter rifle. You also get a bunch of credits out of it. The fiscal quarter is a maelstrom that has the shattering perk, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, shattering is good. However, it doesn't compare to what we currently have, either for our normal range weapon or for our longer range encounters. Nothing that we're going to pick up unless we start getting advanced versions of the hard target is going to compare with what we have. We are going to be looking for an advanced version of a Beowulf as well, because that will be much higher damage than this. The ultimate damage for the commander's hard target is 602, I believe, for the advanced version of it, completely modded out. The Beowulf goes up to 212, I think. And right now we're doing 108 with a legendary advanced drumbeat. So the Beowulf is going to beat out the drumbeat quite a bit, but for right now we have an advanced version of this compared to just regular versions of both of those. Okay, so it looks like we do need to take off from here. Cut it awful close with that tower there.
Pumping retros. Orbit achieved.
Okay, and here's our encounter.
Done.
My people have killed for this, but I will offer you one chance to hand over the artifact and turn away from this path.
Oh, that's not any type of ship I recognize.
The fact that you do not know says much. We are the Starborn, and you are unworthy to possess the artifacts.
Tell us, please. What are the artifacts? What are they for? Did you make them? What gives you more right to them than humanity?
Answering your questions is exactly what we cannot allow. Abandon your thirst for knowledge, or drown in it.
Okay, so the Starborn here seem to know all about the artifacts. You can see that their ship has a lot of the same features as the temples that we've been at and that sort of stuff, so they're connected to them quite a bit, and they certainly do not want us involved with them.
We are growing impatient. Cease your attempts to stall for time.
But you speak our language.
We know everything about you. That is why your kind cannot have the artifact. The more you understand, the more damage you will do.
How could just knowing what you are be dangerous?
Our distance from you is the whole point. We interfere now because we must.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the scans. Energy output from that ship is far above the normal range. If we spin up the grav drive now, we have a chance.
Okay, so you are really not going to have much of a chance here unless you've held off on this mission until you've gotten a really good ship, either built or taken over in this fight. So we're just going to get out of here.
We'll get through this. Hold on.
Now you do not have to wait for the encounter here. You just have to jump anywhere. And you do not have to physically make a jump. If you already have the land option to go somewhere, this escapes from them just as easy and they don't even get any shots off. However, if you have been out exploring a little bit in between these missions and some of these sites are locked down, so you have to travel there to it, then you're going to have to spin up your grav drive and make sure that you've got energy in it. The more energy you put into your grav drive, the faster you jump. So, but that obviously means that you have to take more time taking energy away from other systems to put it into your grav drive. So, kind of a toss-up there on what you want to do, but you will have to spin up your grav drive. Here, we can just bypass all of that and not worry about it. So we had our first encounter with the Starborn. We're going to be learning much more about them as we go. But we do need to drop off another artifact here.
Starborn.
So right now we have the Starborn option here. We also have a Power from Beyond mission. Talk to Vladimir to locate more of these. We're going to go ahead and complete the Starborn here by talking to Noel first.
Never heard of them.
How is Neon? Are you okay? Okay. I'll start transferring the data over now. Let me just bring it up on here at the table. Is that a prototype? No, that material isn't anything we... What the... Everyone, come take a look at this.
That's no faction vessel or Crimson Fleet. Secret military tech, maybe?
No United Colonies Admiral approved that starship design.
They call themselves the Starborn, demanding we hand over the artifact. Like we were children, playing with their parents' things.
What do people know? Any offshoot groups go by that name?
None in any corner of the settled systems I've seen. Maybe a distant human colony finally popping its head up? Another house for Rune?
I very much doubt that.
We ignoring the obvious here? A heretofore unknown group who just happens to know about the artifacts. I'm just gonna say it. Intelligent alien life, or extra-dimensional beings. The original creators from the furthest fringes of space.
Or beyond even that. Is the metaphor of avenging angels coming down to keep humanity from forbidden knowledge not apt here?
So, we have a lot of theories, but nothing concrete. Except that they're after the artifacts, and they're willing to take them by force.
No settled systems lab made these things, and I doubt one of them made that ship either.
So, we got some weird extra-dimensional beings that coincidentally decide to build their spacefaring vessels exactly like we do. Not so sure about that.
Some glints of shine in the dark. Ready to hand them out as soon as you please.
Okay, so obvious we're learning about the Starborn here, and people in Constellation have different ideas
little adventure.
about who the Starborn are and what they represent.
When you have a few minutes, there's something I want to discuss.
Okay, now from that, you get a bunch of credits. You also got an advanced Constellation helmet. Okay, comparing that to the Beast Hunter helmet that we have. Again, remember our anti-Xeno stuff is all calibrated level. We just got an advanced level helmet, and it is just barely getting to the level where it's above our calibrated. Now remember, it's normal, calibrated, refined, advanced, and superior in that order. So the stats on the anti-Xeno gear were really high at calibrated level when we picked it up. So you're not going to find a whole lot of things that are above that until you start getting into advanced levels of some of the higher level gear. And then once you do, these numbers are going to be pretty small compared to the advanced versions of, say, the Mercenary, Bounty Hunter, Trackers Alliance, or Explorer sets that you can find. But for now, the low-level sets, we're still outclassing them by quite a bit. So here now you have these two, and both of them are talking to Vladimir.
Need something?
You had a hell of a shake, getting bullied in the void. Starborn sure know how to make an entrance. Ready to head back out there? The Eye can help you find the artifacts, but I'm afraid she's blind to our new competitor. Double-check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you.
Okay, so now we have 2 more sites here. Captain and Indum, and we can also talk. I think we have to wait. Well, maybe we don't. We might be able to get another set here.
Constellation, the artifacts.
Good luck out there on the fringe.
That doesn't sound
Found
creepy,
one.
does it?
Easy as a needle in the stack. Hope those powers you're getting to overinflate you. Got enough egos in Constellation.
Okay. So now between these we have 3 more temples that are out there. So let's go to Altair 1 here. Or Altair, depending on your pronunciation and whether or not you played the Assassin's Creed games. But the astronomy version is Altair. And now that we've had that encounter, here's where you want to start prepping a little bit before you go into the temple itself.
Landing initiated. Watch for flaring.
Okay, so nothing there. There's the temple behind us. And again, we're going to go with oxygen for now. And again, like I've said before, I could be using my boost pack to get there a bit faster using the alternate boost pack bind key. But I'm looking to run out my oxygen anyway, so I can up my fitness skill. And we can use personal oxygen to get it back. So here, looking at the temple, you can see the 2 high walls here and here. We're going to start veering off to the right a little bit. But when we get there, we're going to change to sense star stuff again. A terramorph. Okay. Well, it's only level 6, so that shouldn't be that big a deal. Okay, but even at level 6, terramorphs are the hardest alien enemy that you're going to run into. So don't take them for granted. When you run into a level 30, you may think, well, I'm level 48 or whatever. They will eat your lunch. Okay, so here we're going to change our power over again. We're going to trigger it. And we don't see anything for now. Okay, but make sure you have whatever weapon you want out and available at this point. Make sure all of my stuff is on. I don't need this necessarily, but I'll try it. Okay, I got towards the center, which is not where you want to be. Then you're looking around all around you trying to find it. You want to be out at the edges. As soon as you gain control of your character again, you want to either try and hide, or you want to try and activate your Sense Star Stuff ability. Because now the Starborn are going to be coming after you. Okay, so there was a Starborn that popped up. They are invisible. The first one here that you encounter, I think, decloaks himself automatically and tries to shoot at you. The others don't do that nearly as much. They stay hidden and invisible until they get in a spot where they're going to be able to ambush you. But that's why you have the Sense Star Stuff ability. I try and go into hiding and then sense star stuff, and then when I see them, they haven't detected me yet, and I can get the first shots off. So what you also have now is Quantum Essence. Every time you kill a Starborn, you're going to get 1 Quantum Essence. What that does is increases your power regeneration for 60 seconds. It allows you to spam your abilities, basically, for that 60 seconds. So keep those in mind, that you have those available to you when you're going through using your powers, because some of them do require much more power cost than others do. Okay, so here you can see that we have 60 power total right now, and Sense Star Stuff only needs 15. But some of these, like the anti-grav field, need 45. So you're not able to spam this. You'd have to wait for it to recharge. You can come in here, use a Quantum Essence, and allow that to be used a lot more often. So the power that we picked up was Creator's Peace. So this allows you can target a group of enemies and around you, and they will drop their weapons and temporarily become non-hostile to you. So again, another one of those panic type of things. But it can also, if you get seen by a group, you can cast this to, like during the Ryujin quest line, for instance, keep from having to kill those enemies that show up. We also picked up Precognition. This will allow you to see the walking paths that the NPCs are going to take around you. So again, very similar to spells that we've seen in Skyrim in the past. Personal atmosphere being the only difference, because there was no need to deal with different atmospheres in a medieval setting. but all of the others have direct correlations to previous spells that you can find. And that's kind of the corollary here, is that the Starborn are something that we don't understand, that there's something slightly mystical about them, slightly not science-oriented about them either. And that's what the powers represent. They represent a new view on humanity's future evolution through the use of these. And we're going to learn more about the Starborn and what they are and all of that as we go through these more. Now we need to... Okay, so we've already got these activated here. So Indum, we've already been to that system before. So we know where it is. Okay, now this one's labeled at a Forgotten Mech Graveyard. This is going to start introducing you to the fact that previously known points of interest can also have artifacts located inside of them. So in the past, we were going to separate caves out somewhere or in specific mission-oriented places to get them. Here you're going to find that certain POIs have been modified to have an entrance that will be activated for you to find an artifact at that location. Okay, so the Forgotten Mech Graveyard is a big place. It's actually really cool.
This bird on the ground.
We're not going to necessarily go through it all, because we're here just for the artifact, so we can find another temple. Okay, so that graveyard's out this way. And again, we're going to put our personal atmosphere on, and I just haven't favorited these. Normally I have them favorited by now, so I can swap back and forth between these two. Okay, now this is on the far side of the Mech Graveyard here, and we're going to run into people. Actually, no, it's on the near side. I forgot. It's right over here around this corner. So we got lucky in how this one showed up, but here there are people here. And I believe these are spacers here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're spacers. That one's still out of range. Okay, might as well get a couple of kills while we're here. Still need to up our ballistic skill. So nobody around us. But I believe there are more spacers over there. Okay. Not yet. We're still okay here, it looks like. Now again, this cave here is always here in every Forgotten Mech Graveyard that you find. The Scavenger Burrow Cave is always here. It's just whether or not there's anything in it is the only difference. You can come exploring here. There are crafting materials. There are a few chests in here and that sort of stuff. But you won't always have the ability to find an artifact in here. But there are all sorts of cool stuff that you can find in here. Like I say, there's all sorts of boxes and that sort of stuff around here, crafting materials that you can find. But here, we're just here for the artifact. And there are no enemies or anything like that in here. So here, this section is open, and we have an artifact in here. So we're, as we always do, we're going to take this opportunity. Oh! Forgot about that. Did completely forget about that. That there's going to be a Starborn now at these artifacts when you're trying to find them. They are now actively trying to keep us from getting them. You can't search any of them. As soon as you kill them, they disappear, and you just get that essence. But as usual, we want to gather the calamite. And some of these are going to be harder to collect than others. Sometimes the hitboxes can be a little strange, like I mentioned before. But you definitely want to use the overcharge. So hold down the left button to activate your cutter, and then hold the right button to overcharge it. You can see the changes to a brighter color, and it starts using your energy faster. But otherwise, you're going to be sitting here cutting on this for a long time. You can see here's one where the hitbox is a little strange. See? Even though it shows I should be hitting it, I'm not causing any damage to it. Yeah, so some of these are just a little strange. These two are normally fairly buggy. These are normally fairly straightforward. They seem to be a little buggy as well. And then some of these can be a little buggy too around the artifact. But again, the only place you find calamite is around the artifacts, and there's a limited number of artifacts. And calamite is used in a couple of fairly important crafting recipes. So you want to make sure you pick it up when you get the opportunity. Again, this one's fairly bugged. Should be, I think, the last set in here. But again, the two in the middle here can be a little buggy. So if you can't get them, you can't get them. You don't need to waste a whole lot of time on them. Oh, I forgot this set over here. Okay, and now we have one more artifact out there. And we should have just enough time to do it here. Okay, and this one's at the deserted robotics lab, so we might not be able to do it.
Time to park this boat.
Because depending upon where this is in the lab, I think I know where it is. Like I say, it's been a while since I've gone through a lot of these in my personal playthrough. Okay, it looks like this one's outside, so we shouldn't have to go inside at all. Well, no, this might be in the building down there. Okay, so we got a pirate over there. Should be out of his sight line, though. Okay, you do have a turret that we're going to have to kill, and that's unfortunately going to set things off. This guy's going to want to melee us, probably. So we do have a robot here. Somebody's got incendiary ammo. Come on. Fine, I'll take care of you that way. Don't hide behind the red barrels. And you can use your powers while you are aimed down the sights. Bad mistake to peek that corner, buddy. Now, Deserted Robotics Lab are one of those facilities that are going to have some of the skill books in them. And you will be coming back to places like this quite a bit in your playthroughs, if you're interested in that sort of thing, which I would highly recommend that you do. The skill books in the game are incredibly useful, especially for how I plan to go about this and the certain types of weapons I'm going to use. But for now, I'm just going to head down here and take out these two, which are going to be coming to me. So I'll hide behind here and pop out. Okay, so we're not going to have much chance of getting through here, I don't think. Maybe we can get to the computer terminal. Okay, so this is a master lock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it could be 4 and 1. Okay, no. And no, so it's going to be 3 and 2. No. No. Can't be that one. Okay, so can't be that. Can't be that. Can't be this. Can't be that either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got to be. Because this 4 doesn't work. This 4 doesn't work. This is the only one it could possibly be. Oh, there it is right there. Yep. So it's 4 and 1. Okay, and then this ring is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got another 1 left. So it could be 3, but it... So this 3 is straight across from each other, so it could be this. Yes. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So could be 4 and 2. So it's not that one. This one would have to be here. And that does not line up. That one doesn't either. No. Okay, so it's going to be 3 and 3. This one's already being used. Okay, so that one works. So then I would need 2 again that are straight across from each other. This one's already being used. So it would have to be actually one I don't have. That one doesn't line up. Okay, that lines up, and then I would need one that's straight across from each other, which could be... Nope, this one doesn't line up with it. And that one's already being used. This one's a little difficult, but it's a master lock, so it's not meant to be easy. This one would work with this one. So that one doesn't line up either. So I think I'm going to give up on this just in the... Let's go and use our auto slots. Okay, and then that one. That auto slot didn't even work right. Oh, okay, it used 3 on that one. I've never seen that done before. So that, and then this one's going to have to go here. It's the only one that works. Now here could be this and this. And then that and this. Okay. So this is going to be robot control. So we'll just watch the fun here.
Damage registered.
Okay, well that's a little unfair. So he's hiding behind, there he is, now he's open. This guy is up top. Probably not a whole lot we're gonna need here. We're gonna go a little long tonight. I'm sure you guys won't mind though. So again, more calibrated stuff. That's a calibrated Beowulf, but we can probably buy that. And this is what I'm talking about, is that this little section here is now part of the terrain, so to speak, to find an artifact. So we're gonna use our star stuff here. See if he's here yet. There he is.
Search for that.
Okay, and then as per usual, we have Calamite around here. And a lot of these are going to be bugged, especially these ones that are on the interior walls in here. You can kind of get one little pixel on them. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. These you have to target right in the middle. Again, fairly buggy on some of these. This has always been the case with Bethesda games. Their collision mechanics for the ground have always been quite a bit buggy. It's good to know that some things never change. And you need to have about at least 40 charge in your cutter to be able to mine these. So keep an eye on that as you're going through them. That one I've already got, so now we'll mine the stuff around the front here. Getting a little buggy. Okay, so we'll just mine out here. Okay, so we're going to go back to the lodge, and that should end the live stream for today. That'll be a good spot to end it.
I am at your service, Captain.
Look at how far we've come. It's all becoming so overwhelming. The Starborn, the artifact visions, the music. Is it all worth it?
Mateo, are you having a crisis of faith? You?
What if the Starborn are right? What if our hunt for the artifacts is a fool's errand, doomed to failure and catastrophe?
You think we're doing the wrong thing? We just want answers. Isn't that why we all joined in the first place? The noble quest of discovery?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shame either of you. Blame the workings of a worried mind. I just hope that this journey doesn't turn us into something that we wouldn't recognize from where we are now.
Hate to interrupt, but I have a favor to ask. Lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts further out, we need work done. Got the nods and signs from Sarah and Walter for the materials, but I need hands. Won't be going alone. Need more than just the you and I. Asked around. A few constellations are already on their way up.
Hey, Nishu, welcome to the stream. Okay, so I think that's a good spot to end the stream today. We are going to have some work to do on the eye, because like I said previously, right now a lot of the artifacts and temples we've been finding have been in the core systems, so to speak. We're going to start having to venture much further afield for these going forward, and the eye is going to have some work to be able to do that. As part of that, we are also going to have to start checking our gear and upgrading our gear. The calibrated version of the UC anti-Xeno spacesuit has been doing fairly well for us right now. That is quickly going to become overmatched. So we're going to have to start finding advanced and superior versions of our spacesuit pack and helmet. We're also going to be needing to start to find advanced versions of our main weapons, specifically the Beowulf and the hard target. And to do that, we're going to have to be higher level than what we are right now. You don't start getting superior versions of your armor until level 60. So you get regular versions at level 1. At level 15, you get calibrated. At level 30, you get refined. At 45, you get advanced. And at level 60, you start finding superior. Now, superior you can't buy that I'm aware of. You have to find it. You have to loot it. Your weapons are a bit higher, and I think the weapon tiers go up to 75 is where you start finding or you can buy superior, or you can find superior versions of weapons. You can buy advanced versions of them, I think, at 60 as well. So we're going to want to get our level up a little bit more so that we can outfit ourselves a little better. We've already shown how to do that with the outpost and the level up process. So I'm not going to go through that again. There's no need for me to show that to you on stream. We have our outpost down here in Linnaeus that we set up for that. I'm actually off stream going to go set up one of the quote-unquote OP type of outposts in the Bessel system on Bessel 3B. This is one of the best locations to set up an outpost because of the time dilation here. So I'm going to go set one of those up off stream, and I'm going to quickly level myself up to level 75. From level 48 to 75 should take you somewhere about an hour and a half of crafting stuff after you've got the outpost set up. So it's a fairly straightforward process to get you up that high, but there's no need for you guys to see me waste time on stream with that. We will definitely do that off stream, and that will be happening during this week, and then we'll pick back up with it again on Wednesday of next week. So as of this time, as I mentioned in my Saturday live streams, even though this Saturday for the Baldur's Gate streams is the day before New Year's Eve, and I've got some family and friend stuff happening on Saturday, I think I've got it worked out, so I should be able to stream. If I'm not able to, pay attention to the community tab here or my social media, and I will put up a post if I'm going to have to delay it. Otherwise, I will be streaming for 2 live streams, 2 3-hour live streams on Saturday for Baldur's Gate as well. So If I don't see you then, I hope to see you next week. As always, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.